Hello, welcome to the University of Law, and in today's video I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing this very special release from Big Finish Productions. So let's get this one open. So this is one that was announced back in February, I believe. I think I was in a Travelodge or Premier Inn, one of the two, Premier Inn in Norwich of all places, having dinner. And suddenly I saw that this was happening, which is the return of The Ninth Doctor with Rose. So it was an instant pre-order while we were in the restaurant waiting for the food to arrive, and I pre-ordered it while the food was being prepared. This is very well boxed, isn't it? Let's pop that there. Okay. Snare by Tim Foley. I like how they've been consistent. Whenever there's been a reboot with the Ninth Doctor, they've always kind of had a one-word title. So obviously when Doctor Who came back, first episode was called Rose. When they had his very first book, it was called Ravagers. And now it's the first new one with Rose, it's Snare. So you'll see from the spine that this is Series 4, Episode 1. Am I right in thinking it's a 12-episode series or a 10-episode series? I can't remember now. But I think that we're certainly working towards a finale with this, and it's kind of focused around the Palisade, which I think is fantastic. Well, fantastic, to coin a phrase, very appropriate. That was an unintended pun. Look, I'm going to come clean. When they first announced that Chris Eccleston was back at Big Finish, I did not want to see the Ninth Doctor with Rose. Not because I don't like Rose. I love Rose and I love this pairing. This was my introduction to Doctor Who. I loved this TARDIS team. My issue was that the 2005 series, more than any other, was designed as a standalone thing. Because when it was commissioned, it was just one series. They had no idea it was going to be the amazing success that it was. I don't think anyone had anticipated it was going to be the success that it was. And here we are 20 years later. Nice way to celebrate the 20th anniversary, of course. So when Russell T Davies wrote that first, well, he wrote most of that series, obviously with like Mark Gatiss, Rob Shearman, and goodness, how come I've forgotten his name? I can see his face from Father's Day. Paul Cornell. Have I missed anyone? Stephen Moffat, of course. How did I forget Stephen Moffat? So, yeah, there was quite a small pool of writers on that first series, but Russell had the big plan, the overarching plan. And it's a character arc for the Ninth Doctor. It's a redemption arc, and it hits even harder now. If you watch Day of the Doctor before, and then you watch Rose straight after, and then you follow through to Parting of the Ways, it really hits home. Having seen John Hurt look at that button and decide to press it, make that decision to press that and destroy the Daleks and the Time Lords, and then to fast forward to the Ninth Doctor being given the same choice, Parting of the Ways, but this time, because of Rose, because of their relationship, he's healed, and this time he's not going. His new homeworld, his adopted homeworld now is Earth and the human race, and he decides this time, no, I'm not going to sacrifice everything I love just to defeat what I hate. And it's a fantastic arc, and for me, I love all of Doctor Who. Because when you love something, it doesn't mean that you can't. There aren't ways it could be improved. But for me, that series, that Ninth Doctor series, is probably one of the most consistently flawless runs of Doctor Who of all time. That's my opinion. And for me, I was very worried about them going in there and disturbing something that was perfect. I think often with Doctor Who, you kind of want to stop the big finishes at some point where you can really build the characters in a natural way. The way they've been doing that recently is a wonderful way, which is to actually have the Doctor re-meet companions later in life. So we've had that with Perry, we've had it with, we've had one with Tegan, we've had it with Nyssa, of course. And I just think Mel has come back. So I think that's often the best way of doing it, because you can pick up everything that you left behind and carry the story forward. Joe Grant, of course, and I love that because you get all the character development and then you get to move the whole thing forward without having to hit the reset button every time. And I was just worried about having a perfect series with extra stuff wedged in that wasn't needed. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong, because what they've done really cleverly is they've set all of these after Father's Day. You'll note that Father's Day is the last televised story with these two on their own together. After this, 2 become 3, following Empty Child Doctor Dances, and by the time they're back to 2 again, 9 is now 10. So basically, by picking it from Father's Day, A, you can make sure that you have all the character development that these two built together, but also, B, we're in a position where Rose has had a bit of a trauma in Father's Day, and naturally, I think she does go home at the end of that episode, doesn't she? And we're picking up from where that is. She wants a bit of time at home. I think it's a great way, a great excuse to do that, and then of course to build a series around the Palace State with the amazing Jackie, a whole new cast, and there's so many lovely believable 3-dimensional characters in this piece that I really want to. Hopefully, we have more of those characters back as recurring characters as well. The third thing, of course, is that by the time we get to a story like Boomtown, which I personally love, the Doctor is completely healed. When you see him laughing and joking in that cafe until he sees the slitting on the front of the paper. But he's not there really in Dalek and the Long Game, which is just before this. So by the time we get to the Empty Child and he seems a bit more carefree, there has been more development, there has been more softening of him. The other great thing, of course, is we don't go back to the Palace State again after this. I think Rose does in Parting of the Ways, but the Ninth Doctor never returns. So again, we can pick up his relationship with Jackie, because there's no more stories with him and Jackie. So there's nothing. Obviously, it's a new. She seems a bit on better terms with the 10th Doctor, and that's perhaps because of this series we're about to see. So I think all my worries are gone, and I should never have doubted the amazing guys at Big Finish done a great job of making this fit in. So this is the first of a series. We've got Tim Foley, who's a great writer. I love this story. It really evoked, in the same way that his script for the 13th Doctor evoked that era. As I mentioned in that review, the 13th era was an era which didn't grab me on TV, but his audio drama helped me to really get it for the first time. And I got the era, and I must go back and revisit those TV episodes. I loved this era on television, and again, he's captured the era, but this time, rather than converting me to it, it's solidified, and I've just enjoyed the nostalgia of it. So there's a great twist in it. And I mean, the star of the show is obviously Jackie. She was the star of the show at the time. She's the star of the show now. So that's my review. I try to keep it spoiler free. But let's get it unboxed and we can have a look at the packaging. As you can see, this is my first time seeing inside. As always with these things, please let me know in the comments what you thought of the story and what you're hoping to see next time. What I was particularly excited by was, because I was a bit disappointed listening to it, that there was no 2005 style Next Time trailer at the end of the drama, because obviously I listened to it on the app when it comes out. I was a bit disappointed by that. And then, of course, I needn't have worried, because next thing we knew, we were getting not only the cover art for the next story, which again looks amazing, and I don't think you can ever overdo the Palace State. And of course, it looks like there's going to be a reason for all this alien incursion. Actually, I wonder if we get Unit. That'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Or even the Brigadier in, because there's no reason why Rose can't meet the Brigadier. Obviously, the Night Doctor has already met the Brigadier, so that'd be really exciting, wouldn't it? Where was I going with that? So it's obviously the Night Doctor in space with Rose, which I guess we saw it with on Space Station, didn't we? So I guess it was no different. Where was I going with that trail of thought? That's right, and then we got a Next Time trailer on YouTube in the 2005 style. Alright, let's have a look inside. Classic 2005 logo. Lovely shot of the two of them, and in fact there's a great video on YouTube, an interview with them that you must catch if you haven't already. And it's great to see the Night Doctor talking about, well, Chris Eccleston talking about his time on Doctor Who. Obviously this time he's obviously talking about his time with Rose, because it's Rose is there. And it makes me really want a collection set with him having a lovely sit down with Matt Sweet and just talking through his time on Doctor Who. And there we go. So what do you think of this release? Do let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I look forward to speaking to you soon.